Welcome back to The Explainer. Today, we are taking a deep dive into the completely vibrant, rhythmic, and honestly, just incredibly colorful world of Dorset's flagship music and dance event. Yeah, we're talking about the beloved Wimborne Minster Folk Festival. If you're into dissecting how massive cultural events actually operate, the rich history behind them, and how an entire community just comes together to pull the whole shebang off, well, you are in the exact right place.
Okay, let's dive right into this. What happens when a historic Dorset market town is basically taken over by clogs, fiddles, and literally tens of thousands of revelers? Well, the short answer? It's pure sensory magic. But the detailed answer, how they actually manage the traffic, the stages, the local economy, and the sheer volume of traditional dance sides, well, that's what we're going to break down today. We'll be using the numbers, the history, and the practical facts straight from the festival's own archives.
All right, let's start with Section 1. A town transformed. To really understand just how drastically the quiet streets of Wimborne Minster changed during this flagship June weekend, you kind of have to picture the atmosphere. The archives describe it beautifully. Strangers chat like old friends, children dance in the square, and music spills into every street. I mean, that perfectly paints the picture of the joyful, inclusive vibe that completely defines the weekend. The town literally becomes a living stage. Every single corner has music drifting from it. And the best part? You don't even have to worry about that classic Glastonbury-style knee-deep mud, because the events are largely on hard-standing ground. It's just total immersion into a community-driven celebration.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is the sheer economic force behind all that dancing. Get this, £1.02 million. Research commissioned by the town's Business Improvement District found that the festival boosted the local economy by an estimated £1.02 million in just a single year. To put that into perspective, when you have roughly 20,000 attendees descending on a town, the local businesses, the cafes, the pubs, those great independent shops, they see a massive immediate benefit. So it's not just a cultural triumph, it's an absolutely vital economic engine for the area.
Moving right along to Section 2, Origins in the 1980s.
Obviously, an event of this magnitude doesn't just, magically appear overnight. It actually evolved from some highly dedicated, really humble beginnings. Back in the late 1970s, the nearby Christchurch Folk Festival actually came to an end. But, not wanting to lose a folk weekend in the area, local organizers and enthusiasts, including local Morrismen Brian Bisp and Linda Wild, held a really crucial meeting in 1980. They formed a committee, worked closely with the town, and actually pulled off a huge undertaking, which was the very first full Wimborne Folk Festival in June of 1981. Over the decades, it just grew and grew, eventually featuring top artists from Scotland, Ireland, and even America. Fast forward a bit to 2013, and the event was rebranded to the Wimborne Minster Folk Festival that we know today, keeping that original 1980s dream very, very much alive.
Which brings us to Section 3, Volunteer and Community Spirit.
Let's shift our focus to the absolute heart of the festival, the incredible people who make this massive undertaking possible year after year. It's incredibly important to contrast the massive scale of the event we talked about earlier, the million-pound economic boost, with its structural roots. Because get this, the festival is 100% volunteer-run and completely not-for-profit. Wimborne Minster Folk Festival Ltd. ensures that absolutely every ticket sold and every single donation made goes straight back into keeping the event thriving. Running something of this size obviously incurs significant costs, and it relies entirely on the selflessness of volunteers to even survive.
So the crucial point is exactly what's noted right here in the festival's historical archives. These volunteers were an extremely important part of the success of the festival, far too many to thank personally. Since those early days of trying to organize stewards, set up campsites, and figure out complex dance schedules, community spirit and selfless dedication had been the true engines driving the festival's ongoing legacy. Without them, the magic simply wouldn't happen.
All right, Section 4, Music, Dance, and Workshops.
It's time to dive into the dazzling array of sensory experiences, the performances, and the activities you can actually expect to see if you go. Once you arrive, you'll be treated to this incredibly exciting visual and rhythmic variety just taking over the streets, and this brilliantly illustrates the highly distinct dance styles you'll spot. On one hand, you have the quintessential English folk dance, Cotswold Morris. That one is characterized by the traditional white attire, the bells, and the rhythmic waving of sticks or handkerchiefs. But contrast that with Border Morris. Hailing from the English-Welsh border, this style is known for its high energy, tattered ragcoats, and vigorously aggressive stick clashing. The festival features dozens of these teams, which are known as sides, bringing incredible visual diversity right to the pavement.
But hey, beyond the Morris dancing, the weekend offers a completely vibrant mix of activities for everyone. There are ticketed live headline concerts and a Saturday evening ceilidhs at venues like the Allendale Center and the Minster, but it's also highly inclusive for all ages. There are family workshops, children's activities in the model town, bus stops, and even art exhibitions. Oh, and yes, they even added a Spencer's Property microbrewery stage for the adults to enjoy. So as you can see, there's genuinely something to fascinate every single age group.
Let's wrap things up with Section 5, Practical Travel and Campsite.
If everything we've just covered makes you want to pack your bags for the next festival, well, you really need to know the logistics. If you're planning to attend, here is a crucial top tip for you. Wimborne Minster is right off the A31, and trust me, it gets incredibly busy, so you absolutely must arrive early to avoid the heavy traffic. Furthermore, to operate the festival safely, there are extensive road closures right through the town center, and that includes High Street, the Square, and Church Street. Those start from Friday afternoon and last all the way through Sunday evening, so you simply won't be able to easily drive right into the middle of the action.
So, how do we get around that? Let's move to and see how this builds into your absolute best stress-free arrival strategy. Your smartest move is to use the Meadows Campsite, located just off the A31 on Julian's Road. It's actually less than a mile from the festival. You can drive straight there, pay a highly affordable £5 for day parking, and then either take their free shuttle bus service directly into town or just enjoy a quick 15-minute walk. It completely bypasses the headache of navigating those closed roads in the town center. Now, if you want to stay for the whole weekend, they also offer some highly practical camping options right there. Situated on 12 acres of beautiful working farmland, the Meadows Campsite offers specific weekend pitches. For £75, you get 2 nights. 3 nights will cost you £110, and 4 nights is £140. What's really fantastic about this is that each booking includes a 5x5 meter pitch for a tent or a slightly larger one for motorhomes, space for a vehicle, and it covers up to 5 people. It's just an incredibly structured, budget-friendly way to experience the entire weekend without constantly worrying about accommodation logistics.
So, after exploring the rich 1980s history, the truly vital community-led volunteer spirit, the sheer variety of music and dance, and exactly how to navigate your way there using the shuttle, are you ready to experience the community spirit and rhythm of Dorset's ultimate folk celebration? I really hope this explainer has given you a clear, structured understanding of exactly what makes the Wimborne Minster Folk Festival so spectacular. Thank you so much for learning with me today, and I'll catch you in the next explainer.